Hi students, the purpose of this quick video is to review the requirements for the exploratory paper that's due in a week. Remember that this is in the last 2 pages of your handout on the exploratory project. So your research has been leading up to this paper that's going to summarize what you've learned. Remember that you should by now have read my feedback on your proposal. And you should feel confident about doing lots of research this week, exploring multiple positions on your debate. So for example, if your research question is, should Chicago Public Schools remove police officers from the schools, then you'll want to research both the side that wants to keep officers and the side that wants to remove them. If you're researching a side with benefits and drawbacks, you'll want to present both the benefits and the drawbacks. However it breaks down, you want to present at least 2 sides of the debate that surrounds your topic, and I don't want to know your position yet. If you do this well, I should not know where you stand, because right now you're simply summarizing what you've learned. You're exploring your topic. If you pick this paper to expand on in the second half of the semester, that's when you will dive in more deeply to your side of the debate and write a persuasive essay. But for now, you're just being informative. Okay, so you'll need to incorporate material from at least 3 sources. So your best 3 sources that give us multiple sides, you can definitely use more than 3 sources. Okay, write at least 900 words, which is about 3 pages in most fonts. Try to stick around 5 to 6 pages maximum. Okay. This does not count the works cited list, by the way. So your works cited list is an additional page on top of those 900 words. So these are the things that your paper will have to show that you've mastered. Okay, so let's again go through these requirements. I already touched on this first one. It needs to use at least 3 written sources that are credible for college level research and appropriate for your research question. At least 1 must be located through library database. You don't have to use a scholarly journal article for the paper. You do have to use at least 1 scholarly journal article for your source analysis worksheet, but it's okay if you decide not to use that in your final paper. Remember, the sources that you did your SAWs on, your worksheets on, don't necessarily have to appear in your final paper. You might decide for any reason that they won't work, okay? And you don't have to do a worksheet for every source that you do use in your paper. Okay, so at least 3 sources, at least 1 located through OneSearch, through our library database. It's okay if all of them come from our library database. All right, you need to synthesize information as you describe the conversation about your topic. Show where your sources agree and disagree. Okay, you need to integrate quotations and paraphrase effectively. So lead into your quotations like I talked about in this week's MLA video, and then cite them correctly as described in the MLA video. Include a works cited list, including that contains the citations for each source in your essay. Now, I'm not going to be super picky about the format of the citations themselves because we haven't had time to review them yet. There is a nuts and bolts writing guide that I've posted on D2L that has details about MLA guidelines. The databases, if you've noticed in the library databases, there's an option to have them format an MLA citation for you. You can use that or any other online tool that helps you. What I'm most interested in right now, though, is that your works cited list contains the sources that you cited in your paper. There should be a direct correspondence between your list and your in-text citations. If your essay doesn't have a works cited list, it'll be counted late. I won't grade it until I get the list. So that's super important. And then your essay has to have the English 101 stuff down, right? Solid structure and organization, and at least 5 or 6 cohesive paragraphs. I don't expect you to use the repetitive, simplistic 5-paragraph formula that you learned in middle school. Use the number of paragraphs that is appropriate for the content that you have. Okay, the deadline is here, some reminders are here, and also the rubric. So please read that information over more carefully and let me know if you have any questions. The best way to feel confident about writing this paper is to do a lot of reading, a lot of research. If you feel that you really understand both sides of the debate, you're going to have the confidence to go into writing a draft. And don't forget to write a draft. Try not to save everything for the very last minute. It's okay to write a sloppy first draft and come back and make it better later. All right, I'll be happy to help you if you have any questions at all, and Bill will also be happy to help you with research questions. Let me know if you want to talk about this or set up an appointment to go over anything. We're both here. Happy writing.